Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jill Brosig, and I am with Harrison Street. One thing that you need to know today about Harrison Street, and actually the only thing you need to know today, is that we invest in student housing. In fact, we are the second largest owner of student housing. And we invest in student housing primarily in the US and also in the UK. It's actually the UK I want to focus on for a moment, because right now there are 2.2 million higher education students in school now in the UK, but there are only 600,000 purpose-built places for them to live. This is a big gap, and this gap is something that the next company that you're going to meet, Space, is out to address. I've been working with the company for the last 3 months. We've been talking about their value proposition, their go-to-market strategy, their overall business plan, and really have been honing it and taking it to the next level. But it's so much more than just the plan, it's also about the people. The group that you're going to meet, and today you're going to meet Leon in a few moments, is passionate, intelligent. He's ready to take this to the next level. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you one of the co-founders of Space, Leon Ifayemi.
Thank you, everyone. I want you to imagine you're a landlord in a university town. You've got a few properties, and every academic year, you face the same 4 challenges. Where do you list your properties so students know about your tenancies? How do you select the tenants that are suitable and will pay you? How do you create, sign, and store your rental contracts? How do you manage your properties when students move in? These challenges recur every year as students move on and off of campus. Brokers and property managers could lift the burden, but will cost you an arm and a leg, cutting your profits by up to 50%. 50%. You could take on the work yourself, but you'll lose hours, if not weeks of your time, and incur a lot of stress with no guarantee your rooms will be filled. Luckily for you, there's a third option. Hi. My name is Leon Ifayemi, and as a former student real estate ambassador, this is why we created Space. To address these 4 challenges faced by landlords every academic year with our end-to-end rental administration platform. Here's how Space works. It starts by listing your property or properties through our simple website in just a couple of minutes. Set your rent, choose your amenities, and upload your photos. This is where Kijiji and Craigslist stop. But for Space, this is just the beginning. Once your properties are live on our site and iOS app, we leverage university integrations and social media to channel pre-verified students to your properties. 84% of landlords want access to tenant ratings for more transparency on rental history. And equipped with our partnership with Experian, the largest credit agency in the world, Space does just that. Once you find tenants that meet your criteria, you can conduct viewings, accept rental offers, and manage lease agreements all through your Space dashboard with a click of a button. And that's it. Your property is rented. And when your tenants move in, rent collection is automated, outstanding payments are chased through your debt collection system, and all your communications are made easily accessible via a clean interface. And with data analytics built into a simple dashboard, landlords can use Space not only to attract and onboard students seamlessly, but to keep track of their rental performance year on year. When we launched Space this time last year with just 50,000 rooms on the platform, we will focus on acquiring the best rooms from both private and institutional landlords. And I'm proud to announce that since starting Techstars, just over 3 months ago, we've more than doubled our inventory to over 105,000 rooms across 11 core cities in the UK. Thank you. We've leveraged our network to strike agreements with Apato, Hines, and Campus Living Villages. Now, we're working with Harrison Street, one of the largest providers of student accommodation globally, following their acquisition by Colliers. Our business model is simple. We charge 3% of rental income to private landlords, a fifth of what agents charge for a fractional service. And to institutional landlords like Colliers, we charge a flat fee every time we place a tenant. With 2,000 bookings already achieved across our pilots in the UK, Space is now 1/3 of the way from reaching the 6,000 bookings required to generate 1 million in annual recurring revenue. Having built a strong supply base, we've now turned our attention to helping more landlords find the right tenants. By establishing trusted relationships with the very people influencing student decision-making the most. Educators, student-oriented groups, and brands already beloved by the student communities globally. In the UK alone, there were 1.6 million students currently living off campus. And globally, there are 120 million students growing at 3% per annum. Housing and higher education has never presented a bigger opportunity. By leveraging partner channels to acquire students inexpensively and consistently over many academic years, Space has the opportunity to dominate the student rental industry. Leading schools like Queen's University are already showing interest, and we'd like to thank Alan Harrison for joining us today. Our long-term vision is to be the leading brand for landlords by acquiring tenants early as students and facilitating relationships as they progress from dorms to off-campus and beyond. We've assembled an amazing team. My experience at Deutsche Bank, Barclays, and Rothschild, coupled with my co-founder Omar's decade of experience in product design at global brands like Disney and LinkedIn, have positioned Space well for perpetual growth. Which leads us to today, looking for investors who share our vision in addressing the hassle of rental administration faced by landlords every academic year. We're raising $650,000 and already have 50% committed. I'm Leon Ifayemi, CEO of Space, and we'd love to connect with you about simplifying the off-campus rental journey forever. Thank you.